Alright guys, so check this out. I had this old Toyota bumper laying around, and while it's not perfect, it's metal, so I can cut and weld it. Very important piece of the car, vent. I can't deal with that fender gap. I can deal with a little bit of gap, you know. I ain't got to be like one of the hella flush guys or whatever. I ain't got, but it's 6 or 8 inches there. That's too damn much. Hello YouTube, welcome back to Small Block Saloon. Today we're going to continue working on our fake Lamborghini Mustang drift car build. That thing. Alright guys, so I went ahead and pulled the dash out. I didn't film any of that because it was just tedious as hell. A bunch of little small screws. And I've started marking where I'm planning on cutting and bending on this A pillar or B pillar, whatever pillar this is. But before I do that, I want to get the car sitting a little better. The back, I have it propped up on some 2x4s and stuff. The height of the car on the back is pretty good. I cannot stress how low this thing is inside. Like, I'm not a tall guy at all, and I still don't know if I'm going to fit in it. I don't know what we're going to have to do. It's going to take a special seat track combo set up to get in there. But anyway, my big problem is, and I don't know how it shows up on this camera, it's this front right here. It just needs to go down. It's probably about 8 inches or so off the ground. That's too high. Also, it's a big fender gap here. I think what I'm gonna do is I got some plans with the suspension, but this car was already lowered, so I can't lower the suspension much more. But whoever had this kit before me, they cut all this up, and it's been put back together with like teat screws and stuff. I think it's cut right here and it's cut all the way up. There's a mold seam right here from when this kit was molded. I think I'm gonna cut it right there. That'll separate this front half and let this door seal and everything kind of relax, and maybe I can get it down where I want it, and then I'll just keep whittling. We might end up having to put some material in here somewhere or do something a little crazy there, get cute with it, but we gotta do what we gotta do to get on there. I can't deal with that fender gap. I can deal with a little bit of gap, you know. I ain't got to be like one of the hella flush guys or whatever. I ain't got, but it's 6 or 8 inches there. That's too damn much, you know. So we're gonna do what we gotta do. We're gonna cut some stuff and see if we can't get it sitting a little better. Once Alright gang, so we got that cut. Once it dropped down, the front wheel's about where it needs to be. We just need to close up this gap. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot a couple self-tapping screws in to hold it for right now. It ain't gonna hurt. This kit's already been cut all up. And we might have to change the shape of it a little bit. You know, it is a 1-to-1 Diablo, but we're putting it on a Mustang. So if we got to stretch the fiberglass here or there to make it work, then that's what we're gonna do. We ain't got no doors anyway, so doors are gonna probably that'd be custom made, or if I find something modified or whatever. But first thing is get all this other stuff looking good. That way we can build a cage and everything, and the doors can be just about the last thing. But anyway, All right, YouTube, so we got this where we wanted it. Next thing we got to do is get this fender down some. I think the best thing to do is come in here. This is all one piece. Cut this windshield brace out, separate the fender. This is all warped and laid down too much anyway where it's been sitting. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but I mean, it's really arced. It's not going to work like that. It's not in the right spot, and we're gonna secure that to a roll cage anyway. So I think we're just gonna come in, slice it, get that out of the way, worry about getting this fender down, and then we'll play with the windshield. Alright, YouTube, we got it cut, so let's see. It's gonna feel a little better now. That's a lot closer, I can tell you that much already. I mean, we still need to go down a little bit, but oh yeah, we got some room under there to cut. Cut some of this back right here. Alright, YouTube, so I got this part right here cut out. I'm going to hit it with the maul, knock it down a little bit, and check and see how that fender fits now. I should be getting pretty close. That's pretty dang close, YouTube. It looks like it's hitting on the strut tower brace. I'm gonna notch that. See what we pick up there. This is how this goes. We're just gonna keep cutting and hacking, and once we get it in there where it fits right, we'll have to fiberglass it all back together. Alright guys, so we got this area kind of fitting somewhere in the ballpark of what it needs to be. The next thing I think I need to do is try to solve this problem. I know I've said a couple times how short this thing is on the inside, but if you look, that tape measure is on the floor, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's like 33.5 inches. So I think what I'm gonna do is this rear is stock suspension, so you can see I got the body blocked up there. I think I'm gonna block up the body a little higher, trying to get me some room up here in the top in the cockpit area, and then lower the suspension back down to get this body height. But I got to separate the body from the floor to try to buy me some room in here in the cockpit area. So that's what we're going to do next. All right, guys. So I've been measuring this, and it just ain't enough room in there. I think the position of my firewall is a little bit forward. Compact that with how low it is, and there's ain't enough room for a seat in there. My plan is, I've already got it marked out. My plan is to cut this roof panel and slide this whole thing back about 5 inches. And what that'll do, inside the car where this rear view mirror, or rear glass goes, it's, I don't know, it's 4 or 5 inches deep. So if I can get that back, and I might even have to cut this out later, but if I can get that back, that'll buy me some room. It will alternate the appearance, you know, because this bar up here will be a little wider, but it is what it is, you know. We got to be able to get in the car, and it's going to be just a fun hoon drift raise hell car anyway. So gotta do what I gotta do to be able to get in it and drive, because right now I don't even fit in it. So I think we're gonna cut that next. I know it's gonna be a lot of body cutting in this video, but that's unfortunately how it's got to be done to make everything fit, and then we'll fiberglass everything back together. Let's do it. Alright guys, so I'm going to try to keep working with this body. This dash is way too high. I'm going to eliminate the windshield wiper motor and windshield wiper linkage and all that. Probably end up cutting it down, getting a couple inches of room to be able to see out the windshield. I'm going to do that now. Very important piece of the car, VIN. I'm not going to drill it out. What my plans are is to weld this back to the roll cage. So it's the actual VIN with the real spot welds. This video helped me explain what I did if I ever get in trouble with the police or whoever. But so here it is, original VIN. I just cut it out, and I'm going to trim this piece back and actually weld this to the roll cage later. Alright YouTube, update time. I got that cut out. I'd laid this windshield piece in here. I'm just going to take a straight edge down the dash. This really ain't a dash, but to give me an idea where the dash needs to be, and mark that back metal, and then I can chop off that back there. Alright gang, update time. I think I got this cut out pretty much where it needs to be. It still needs to go down lower, but it's hitting on the engine. So what we're probably going to have to do, I've ordered some drop motor mounts. I want to drop this engine down about 1 inch, hopefully about 1 inch, and probably slide it back about 1 inch. And that should buy us a little room. I don't want to keep cutting any structure until I get the cage put in there. However, I can't put the cage in there until I know where the body's going to sit. So I don't know if there'll be a big, huge payoff in this particular episode. What I want to do is get the engine down and then fiberglass all this stuff back together, so it's one big piece. Right now it's looking like the 2 front fenders and the hood area, the 2 front fenders and the windshield area, I'll probably be one big piece. So if I got to access this motor, I'll have to take the whole cap off, which is a little strange, but I mean, it's going to be pretty much a track car and a fun car. So I mean, it's not like it's going to be a daily, you know. I can do that. So I'm going to pull this stuff back off. I'm going to start digging into this. I might work on some motor mounts, K-member. I don't really know what I'm going to do next. I'm starting to get landlocked until I can really start fiberglassing some of this stuff back together. It's going to be a long process, man. For those of you guys that are looking for a quick, episode where I do it all, snap my fingers, it's done, that's not going to happen. It is what it is. Can't change that. Alright guys, so check this out. I had this old Toyota bumper laying around, and while it's not perfect, it's metal, so I can cut and weld it, but it's got the pretty much overall shape of the factory Diablo bumper, and it's metal. So my plan is to cut and slice and fit it to the front, and then probably use that Roush Mustang lower underneath to make the chin spoiler. That's your thing, so it should take some abuse. And this is way short on the sides, but I can extend it. It's metal, so I think that's gonna work out, and that's gonna give me something rigid. I'll have to make some brackets and stuff, and it'll be rigid to mount all this fiberglass cap on top of. So it's starting to work out. I got to get the motor mounts to get that motor down. I can't do a whole lot more until, with this, I have stuff to do all over the car, but getting that engine down is going to be the next big thing to make us really propel forward. But one more piece to the puzzle. Alright guys, so I know it wasn't a huge payoff in this one. You're going to have to stick with me for a few episodes till we figure a lot of this out. But we did make some good progress. Waiting on the engine, the motor mounts to lower the engine, and then I think before I go too much longer, I'm gonna start fitting the cage up. I'm gonna insert a picture right here. So yeah, I just found that cage off Marketplace. I actually picked it up today, and I know it's gonna have to be heavily modified, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and start fitting the cage up while the body's still loose. That way we can make mounts and stuff off the cage. So we'll get into that next episode. Appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe, all that stuff everybody says at the end of the videos, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.